Welcome back. There is a free musical hitting the Deep Hill Theater this weekend.
It's a new musical workshop called The Willing, and it's taking the stage.
Now, for those who don't necessarily know what a workshop is, an early form process of a production, that's what it is, where guests will be able to see how the musical has evolved within the 2 weeks they first started rehearsals. Now, this story takes place in the late 1700s London when a 19-year-old boy finds himself in a whirlwind of a scandal and consequences of his deception. The director says it's exciting to finally bring the story to the stage.
We are squeezing in the development of a new musical into just 44 hours of rehearsal that we will then present to the public for the very first time. This will be the very first time that The Willing, this new musical, will be presented before actual people.
He adds that the music will be in a 70s rock style after the performance. Attendees can join the cast for a discussion. There will be performances through the weekend and also on Monday. So something to do if you're not busy this weekend, to get out there and kind of enjoy the local theater groups here.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty interesting of a play itself. 1700s, right, meets 70s rock.
They must like sevens.
Yeah,
Maybe a pair of sevens.
Yeah, a little bit of motif there. But definitely interesting. It would be cool to see it like evolve so quickly.
Yeah, and then see once it's like officially, you know, ready for performance.
Yeah.